Welcome, welcome, welcome to the program. This is your senior moment. It's young living or assisted living. You can make your home a healthy home, and it all starts with you. All right. Remember the old program from Jack Nicholson? You can handle the truth. Famous line. Episode number 70 today. Episode number 70, The Truth on the Senior Moment. Linktree in the bio, you can see all the good stuff that we've got for you. Use the links to jump to areas that interest you. Free products, free downloads, free market analysis. And remember, if you enjoy watching the Senior Moment, share it online and comment. Likes are nice and appreciated, but shares and comments are better. Each week, we draw from those who have shared, and that lucky person will receive a fabulous prize. So please, I'll share and comment. 1,870. That's what we've done so far, program to date. Push-ups, sit-ups, deep knee bends, 320 already this month. I keep waiting for that number 40 to get easy, but not yet. 1,200 for the goal for this month. Maybe at the end of 1,200 push-ups this month, that number 40 will be easy. 27,290 is the goal for the program. All right, so what do we got here? The truth. Let's just talk about this a minute. We have a saying in real estate that goes something like this: buyers are liars and sellers are too. And what that phrase really refers to is the fact that people tend to be just guarded with their motivations. They're not really forthcoming with them. So a little story, a couple of years ago, we had a client that called us out to the house, said that they were moving, and they were moving out of state. They already had their place secured, so they didn't need any help on the buy side. They just needed to get rid of the house. So we had our first meeting, did the walkthrough with the house, kind of got to know one another, and I came back for the second appointment, and we signed the listing papers, and I was just about to start talking about next steps and what we're going to do next. And he stopped me and said, look, I just got to be honest with you. We're getting a divorce. And that was the real reason for the selling of the house. So they weren't comfortable with mentioning that to anybody until they had made the decision on who was going to help them sell the house. Guarded with their information, and so not forthcoming. Then in another case, we went out to a client's place, and they wanted to sell and move, and they told us that they needed just a little more space. Family was growing, wanted a little more space. So put the house on the market. We're out looking for another house. They found one that they wanted to make an offer on, and wouldn't you know it, that house was really pretty much the same as the house that they were looking at or that they were currently living with. So I questioned him. I said, well, what's the deal with this? This is just like the house that you're selling. Then the truth came out. Then the real story came out, that the fact is that the guy across the street was a coworker. They worked together, and they were real friendly. They used to ride to work together and stuff. It was great. And then there was a conflict at work, and it began to be uncomfortable, and there was a tension there with the people across the street because they couldn't resolve this conflict at work, whatever it was. I never did find out what that exactly was about. The point is that it was so bad that they wanted to move. They just had to go. So what we're saying is that there's a truth, and then there's the story, and then there's the real story. And if they had come clean about the reason for their moving, and they found out that they had nothing to do with the space, then what was it about that makes people so guarded? And it really comes down to a matter of trust. These stories are not uncommon. We hear many times with people where they tell us something, and then when we find out later that there was an entirely different reason for the move. So the players in the story change, the storyline changes, but rarely do we find out the truth. So there's the reason, and then there's the real reason. And when we're told the truth, we're better able to help the client, but that takes trust. So some people have just been so wounded that trust is not easy for them, so they are guarded and secret and their motivations is like a little treasure in a museum. So what's the takeaway for us? Well, the takeaway really is that know that when you're dealing with people, there's a public face, and then there's with the story that you know, and then there's the one that's locked down in the vault waiting to be discovered. And your job and my job, through getting to know people and getting to be able to help them, is to unlock that vault, so that they can open up the trust to you, and then you're better able to serve them. So that's your senior moment for the day. So what is my grateful moment? I had my grateful moment is Brisket, the world famous therapy dog. I had her here on the couch. I was going to show her to you, but she jumped down and ran off, and I'm not going to chase her around because I don't know where she is here in the mansion. Okay, so what do we got today? Deep knee bends. Deep knee bends. No, we did that yesterday. Today is going to be toe touchers. Toe touchers, easy peasy. Going to wrap off our 40, and then I got to get to a closing, so we're going to make it quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how good my back feels since we started doing those. Remember that old thing? You got a jar full of pennies, and for every day you take a penny out of the jar, and then when the jar gets empty, I guess you kick the bucket. For every day that you watch your senior moment and do your exercises, you get to put a penny back in the jar. So remember, the older you get, the longer you want to live. I'm Keith Hittner Sr., and we'll see you tomorrow.